So you're tired of making art that feels uninspired or empty or meaningless, and you go on YouTube and you see all of these videos, and the videos are like how to find your art style, and then they like show you that you should like really be getting a specific art style, and it should be super clear and like super branded, and it should have like a really specific look. But unfortunately, this doesn't actually work. So maybe we should focus on art themes instead. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Can I get in here? The problem with an art style is that an art style is like a highway, right? Super efficient. It's gonna get you where you need to go, especially if you already know where you need to go. Like you're trying to go from point A to point B and you know exactly where it is you need to get to. The highway is super efficient. You'll get there fast. Go, go, go. But the only problem is that highways tend to make things look the same everywhere, right? Like you've had this experience. You go to the new place has the same fast food restaurants as the place that you were just in. So yeah, an art style is a really great tool for getting somewhere efficiently, but it is not actually a good tool for developing like a lifelong art practice. An art theme is more like a map of all of the different routes that you could take, all the different little trails and the hiking trails and the biking trails and the side roads. Like an art theme is a map, an understanding of the general landscape and the options for how you travel through that landscape. And we're going to go through a very simple 3-step process for how to develop your art practice through focusing on art theme. A really good art theme helps you frame all the projects you've done in the past, everything that you're currently working on. It helps you tell the story of all of that work to other people. And then it also helps you plan where you're gonna go in the future, places you're curious about, things you want to experiment with, all that stuff. Plan for the future. So first let's talk about the limitations of art styles. So an art style is an art style at all because it has a specific limitations. It looks like a specific thing. It's a hammer hitting nails, but not a hammer hitting screws. An art style specifically has to have limitations in order for it to be recognizable. It's a super useful tool when you want something to be instantly recognizable. This is why we talk about like branding, brand styles. That's what recognition is, right? Like it's something where as soon as someone sees it, they're like, oh, that's this artist. That's not as common anymore because art styles have started to very much merge when everyone's using the same tools. So it's harder to have brand recognition and have style be like the central part of that recognition just due to that tool overlap. And that tool overlap is sort of part of art style though. So if you focus exclusively or at least mostly on finding your art style, you'll have this limitation where you mostly hone in on one set of tools. You'll get really good at graphite. You'll get really good at oil. You'll get really good at acrylic. You'll get really good at sewing a very specific type of garment that you really like or making a very specific type of sculpture. None of those are bad. Art styles aren't bad, but they do cause limitations in your art practice. So it's important to see art styles instead of like, I'm going to find my one art style, as I'm going to find a style for this project. But how you string all of your projects together, that's your theme. And then each time over a long artistic career that you work with a new collaborator or do a new commission or work on a new project, that's when you can sort of show a different artistic style in each one of these areas. But the broader artistic theme is what brings collaborators in to want to work with you. So 3 steps, how to find your theme. Step 1 is to name yourself. All art is made from a specific background and cultural context and emotional experiences. They're made from the entire material of your life. So naming yourself and your experiences draws in the mountains and the valleys and the rivers, the landscape of your art theme, of this map of how you might make art. So you might name your lived experiences, your memories, your emotions, cultures, peoples, places, needs, limitations, things you do have access to, things you don't have access to. So, for example, I will go first. I am a 30-something white autistic. I'm perceived as a cishet woman, but actually I am a trans asexual gremlin. I'm an anti-Zionist Jew. I have a brain injury, and I also have a 20-year marriage. I'm from an affluent country, but a poor family, and way more than that besides. And not a single person watching this will have all of that background. We'll all have little Venn diagrams of overlapping experience, and those places where we have overlapping experience is how I can draw you in to my work, and also where my work can serve you as an audience member. When I name who I am also naming all of the people that my art practice can serve. Okay, step 2, what is being made? Art is made from sources and materials and influences. Naming your loves, naming your influences is how we draw in the little routes, the trails, the roads, the navigation paths onto the maps. So who we are becomes the landscape of our art theme, and what we make, the materials we use, the things that we love become the ways of navigating that landscape. So name what you love to look at, what you love to listen to, the shows you like to watch on repeat. What do you like to remember? What do you like to smell, taste, touch? What materials do you just like the way they work? I love bright colors and the smell of black coconut. I love Across the Spider-Verse and Mutant Mayhem and Everything Everywhere All at Once. I love Kira Walker. I love Nick Cave. I love Andrea Zattel. I love Yinka Shonibare. Oh, I love Jeffrey Gibson. I love Prickly Pufferfish by Galen Tipton. I love Murderbot. I love Becky Chambers. I love speculative fiction and messy experimentation. I love paper and cardboard and fabric and paint and staplers and hole punches and 3-ring binders and clothes. I love computers. I love video. I love animation. Step 3 is to name your core values. Core values are the final piece of your sort of art theme map. They're the cities, the villages, the sites of energy and excitement on the map. Values can be events, social topics, trends, history, anything that you think is vitally important for more people to think about and talk about and make art about and just have more active awareness of in the world. So I value protecting the environment. I value protecting people from exploitation. I value disabled lives and minds. I value clear, transparent communication. I value rest. I value close relationships with small groups of people. So even just naming myself, naming my loves, and naming my values, you can really see a lot of why I make the work that I make. I love bright colors, but I also value protecting the environment and protecting people from exploitation. So I make textile work and clothes work myself, and I only ever use recycled materials. I value disabled lives and lived experiences, so I make sculptures and bed objects that are supposed to be with you when you're ill, to be in your hands and on your body and in your bed with you. So once you go through these 3 steps, you can really develop a clear idea of what you're making and why. I make work from and by and for disabled lived experiences using recycled materials and computers. All of my projects can fit into this framework, and using that framework helps me tell the story of all of my projects to other people. So, what do you think? Do you have an art theme? Who are you? What do you make? What do you value? Tell me in the comments how you talk about your work, how you tell the story of what you're making to other people, and maybe how that story has changed over time. It's taken me many years to develop such a clear understanding of what I make. But continually going back to this process of naming who I am, what I love, and what I value has helped me clarify each step of the way to get to this framework. If you're new here, hi, I'm Em. I'm an artist and I make work about artistic practice, mine and yours. If you'd like to follow along with many more behind the scenes, there's tons of stuff over on my Patreon. There's Patreon exclusive for my paid members, but there's also lots of things for my free members. Projects you can participate in, art you can look at, ways to escape the algorithm. And remember, creative practice is a gift to the world. So I hope you keep on giving. Hi, can I get in here?